This is Jerry with Jerry's Retirement Wisdom. We've been to the Dollar Tree today and I found some items with which to make some fishing hacks. If you stick around the end, I'll explain to you why I need a cutting mat on my bass boat. Why don't you come along?
Fishing hack number 1.
I picked this up at the Dollar Tree. It's a waste basket, and right beside it I found this woven basket that's made out of plastic as well. And I got an idea that I could make something out of this. So the first thing we need to do is I'm going to take a 1/4-inch drill bit and I'll make a hole right here at the top. And then we'll go around the other side, right across from there, and make a hole here. Okay? Now, got a piece of paracord. I'm just going to tie that paracord onto our waste basket. Simple square knot will do, nothing fancy. And the other side. Now I've made myself a handle for my bucket, and then I can put this basket in here. And what I can use this for is when I go bank fishing, we can put water in here and some minnows, and then when you need a minnow, you just pull up the inner basket and you can get your minnow out of there. So I've taken a waste basket and a woven basket, and I put those together with a paracord handle, and now for $2.50 I've made myself a bait pail. Easy hack from the Dollar Tree.
Fishing hack number 2.
I spotted this at the Dollar Tree. It's a bouquet holder with foam. When I saw it, I thought, you know what, I could use this when I'm gathering up hooks and planning my fishing trip. And I don't want those things laying around where they fall down in the floor in the shop or out in my boat. I could just hook these hooks into this foam here, and then they're not going to be a problem. You know, the worst thing is to take a hook loose when you're out fishing, and then later you can't find it and you're pretty sure it's sagging around the bottom of your boat somewhere. So it looks like it would take all sizes of hooks, and you could put a lot of them on here. Even if you're making up leader in advance, you could add those to this unit here and wrap the line around down below, and it'd be a pretty handy thing to manage your hooks. The bottom's tapered so you could set that down in the top of a fishing rod holder, and then you've got your hooks organized and they're right there out of the way, and you're not going to step on one or inadvertently get poked with one of your fishing hooks. Easy hack, $1.25 from the Dollar Tree.
Fishing hack number 3.
I picked this up at the Dollar Tree. It's a butterfly net, but it's a pretty substantial little net. It's on about a 2-foot shaft. And what you can do with this, if you check in some of the sporting goods retailers, they sell bait nets, and they're long-handled nets about this size, and they can retail for quite $1. But for $1.25, I've got a bait net, and I didn't have to pay that much for it. I just picked it up at the Dollar Tree. It's an easy fishing hack, and it'll save you a good bit of money.
Fishing hack number 4.
On catfishing at night, I like to be able to see that my rod tip is flexing, and that tells me I've got a bite coming. And I've showed you before where Dollar Tree sells some bracelets that glow in the dark, and you can hook those to your pole. Well, I ran across these. These are necklaces, and look how long these are. These are about a 22-inch long necklace. They come 4 to a pack, and you activate this thing. It's twice as long as those bracelet glow sticks that I've been picking up, and you can put that on your pole. And you can use a piece of pipe cleaner. They call them fuzzy sticks now. Back in the day, we called them pipe cleaner. Couple pieces of pipe cleaner to attach it to your pole, and you've got a 22-inch long glow stick that's really going to show up in the dark. You get 4 pieces of these glow-in-the-dark necklaces, and that ought to hold you for an entire evening, or maybe even 2. And they're only $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. Easy hack.
Fishing hack number 5.
I found these at the Dollar Tree. They're nylon cable ties. The thing I really like about them is these are really, really small. A lot of the wire ties you see offered in stores are quite long. Some of these are 4 inches long and the others are almost 6 inches long. There's several uses for these, but one of the ideas I had was sometimes you have that favorite lure and the skirt starts getting old and wants to come loose and slide off. Well, what you can do is take one of these really small cable ties and just put that on your lure and then pull it tight. And now you're going to make sure that that skirt doesn't come off as you're out fishing, and that's going to make it last a lot longer, and you're going to be happy with those results. Some of these are virtually invisible, the lighter ones, so they'll never be seen, and I think you can save some of these lures that otherwise you'd lose the skirt on them. And it's real easy. Like I said, you get 100 to a pack. There's lots of uses for wire ties around, and they're only $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. Nice fishing hack.
Fishing hack number 6.
I found this at the Dollar Tree. It's a 3-pack of electrical tape in 3 different colors. And one of the things that happens to me with several fishing poles on the boat is I don't always remember what pound test I've got on which pole. And I like to use 50-pound braid, 20-pound braid, and then for some poles I just put 12-pound on. It's sometimes hard when I pick up a pole to remember what pound braid I've got loaded on my pole. So what I can do is I know to remember these 3 colors. The red is 50-pound, the yellow is 30-pound, and the white would be my 12-pound test. That makes it easy when I grab a pole to know what line I've got loaded on that pole. So for $1.25 you get 3 collars of electrical tape, and it's a good way to identify your poles and which one's holding the heaviest line. Easy hack from the Dollar Tree.
Fishing hack number 7.
Found this at the Dollar Tree. It's a yarn storage container, and I thought, you know, that's just about the right size for small hands. If I've got the grandkids out, each one of them seems to want to have their own cup of live worms to fish with, so these would be nice for $1.25. They lock, but they're real easy to open, and you can put your live worms in there, and then those would be handy to carry around when you're bank fishing, and you could split up your supply of worms among several of the grandkids, and they'd each have their own little box, and it's only $1.25 at the Dollar Tree. Easy hack.
Fishing hack number 8.
I found this at the Dollar Tree. It's $1.25. It's a spray bottle, but as you can see, it's a pretty good size spray bottle. And what these are good for is when you're out fishing, you don't want to clean your hands with any sort of chemical cleaner, and that might be a turnoff to the fish. So if you don't like that fishy smell on your fingers and you need a more natural way to clean your hands, if you take a spray bottle and put water in it with just a little bit of apple cider vinegar, then if you squirt your hands with that, that's going to clean your hands off, but you're not going to have that chemical smell that would be a real negative if the fish smell that on your lures. So for $1.25, you get a nice spray bottle. It's good size, it's compact, but it still holds a good bit of liquid, and that's going to be perfect for cleaning your hands when you're out fishing. Easy fishing hack.
Fishing hack number 9.
I found this at the Dollar Tree. It's called the FLORAL WIRE, and it's used for doing flower decorations. But one of the ways you can use this wire is it's just the right gauge, so that if you cut yourself off a piece, what you do is take your floral wire and you run it through this egg sinker. You run it back through, bring your floral wire back around to the front and pull this tight. And then you don't twist this, but you just one time hook that right there. So what that does is it is on there substantially enough, if you cast it, it's not going to come off, even if you give it a hard cast. But if you wedge your sinker in the bottom of the river, say, and it's a rocky bottom, if you pull hard enough, that will come loose and it'll come out of your sinker. Then all you're going to lose is the sinker, and you get to keep the rest of your setup, and you can use the same wire and tie on another sinker. So you just go through once, go through again, bring the wire back up past your sinker to where it enters your sinker, pull this tight, and like I said, you just hook that around. You don't twist it a bunch or it won't come off. Now you're ready to cast your sinker on your line. This end up here is just a simple overhand knife, and now you're ready to cast your sinker, and it won't come off unless you really give it a hard tug and pull it off. A little bit of floral wire from the Dollar Tree and a sinker, and you might save yourself some expensive gear. Easy hack from the Dollar Tree.
Fishing hack number 10.
I found this at the Dollar Tree. It's a cup organizer, and what you do is you set this down in the cup holder in your car. But the use I have for it is if you put this in the cup holder in your boat, it gives you a little extra here. So what you can do, it's got a little slot here on the side. You can hang a couple of spinning baits on there if you want to. It's got a place to keep some of your extras handy as you go throughout the day. It's a really handy way to add some organization without doing any modification to your boat. You just set this in your cup holder, and then throughout the day you got a place to throw a couple of extras. And you can hang lures all around the edge of this thing. So it really adds some versatility. And before, all it was a cup holder. So easy hack for $1.25 at the Dollar Tree.
Fishing hack number 11.
I found these at the Dollar Tree. They're called soft beads. There's 15 to a pack, and I'm always looking for nice beads to use when I'm doing my setup. The thing I really liked about these is they're soft, so I thought these might really help to cushion the impact when you've got a heavy sinker slamming into your knot on your hook. So with these on the line, they thread real nice. The hole in them is small, so it's not missing the knot when you get down to the bottom here, and that's really going to cushion that when you got a heavy sinker coming into play. So for $1.25 I get 15 soft beads, and I think they're going to really help out when it comes to saving that knot on your fishing hook. Easy hack from the Dollar Tree.
Fishing hack number 12.
I told you earlier when we got to the end I'd show you what this is for. This is a cutting mat. It comes for $1.25 from the Dollar Tree. I was out on the boat with a friend the other day, and he did something that got my attention. He was cutting off a lure and getting ready to put a new hook on the line. And since we use pretty heavy leader, he pulled out his pocket knife to cut off his line. But what he did was he laid his hook on his fiberglass boat surface and used his knife to give that a cut. Well, that left a little cut in his fiberglass finish, and I would think over time if you did that enough you'd have a spot there where you'd end up with a pretty ugly place where it would hold dirt and really would degrade the value of that fiberglass finish. So I saw this in the Dollar Tree. It's a cutting mat, and it's not very big. It's only 8 inches by 6 inches, but it's of a rubberized material, and you can cut all day long on this material and it won't harm anything underneath, and it kind of heals itself as you do that. So carry one of these somewhere in your boat, and if you have to do some cutting, you're not going to harm your fiberglass finish or cut anything else for that matter. It's a nice fishing hack from the Dollar Tree, $1.25.
Jerry's Retirement Wisdom.
This has been Jerry with Jerry's Retirement Wisdom. I hope you like the Dollar Tree fishing hacks that I put together for you today. I've got some news. I sold the old boat. That means the poor man's pole anchor and all the other boat modifications are now the possessions of a new family. Maybe next week I'll have some news about a new boat. If you like my videos, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. If you'd like to see some more of my videos, just click right there. We'll see you next time.